Um, All right. Good morning, everyone. And so happy to know you are all here. Today, we are about to have a webinar training from Melbourne Polytechnic. It is one of the best vocational institutions of TAFE Victoria. And my name is Hướng from Yes Education. Along with me today, we have Natalie from Melbourne Polytechnic. In this webinar, Natalie will bring us full of information related to key selling points, CTE admission process, student support and employment opportunity, and so on. And during the webinar, if you have any questions, please text us in the Q&A box. We will answer all in the end of the training. So Natalie, over to you now.
Yes, thank you, Hung. So my name is Natalie. I'm the Senior International Marketing and Recruitment Coordinator with Melbourne Polytechnic in Melbourne. So today, as Hung mentioned as well, I'll go through with you. Can you, yeah. These are the things we will cover. So I'll give some introduction to you who are not so familiar with Melbourne Polytechnic, some information about us, our campuses and courses, and some living expenses and earning potential as well, admissions requirement and the student support. So for those who are receiving inquiries about Australia and wanting to know about Melbourne and what's the difference between Victoria and the other states. So first of all, where is Melbourne? So Melbourne is located right at the bottom right in Victoria, very close by to just on the border of New South Wales. And Melbourne is actually ranked 5th in the world based on the QS Best Student City Rankings 2023. So this makes Melbourne Australia's #1 student city for the 8th year in a row. So it's the #1 student city in all of Australia. And because Melbourne is also one of the most livable cities in the world, it's ranked 10th in the world based on the Global Livability Index 2022. So yeah, it's a very friendly environment, place for students, international students, and for them to develop their life and career here as well. And I'll be sharing the slides with you, so don't worry, you will have a copy of this and all the photos, everything in here as well. I'll share it with Yes Education and then they can pass it on. So this is the Melbourne City view. And this is the famous Flinders Street station. So this is where students will normally get off in the CBD, in the main city area. And yeah, go from here. And as you know, Melbourne is a place of a lot of arts and culture and music. So this is a famous Hosier Lane, which tourists might know very well. And also the coffee and cafe culture as well is very interesting. So in Melbourne, if you come here for holiday, it's not complete until you visit one of the cafe and have a coffee there. So yeah, it's a very big coffee culture. And not to mention also about the wildlife. There's a lot of exotic animals which you can't find anywhere else in the world. So this is something very, another point which you can share with the students. If they like nature, animals, Australia and Melbourne is a good place to explore these things. Some more photos of the Grampians National Park, the Phillip Island, Moonlit Sanctuary. So there's a lot of places. And transportation. So yeah, feel free to use this for your students. You can explain to them about the system here. So you can either take the train, the bus, or the tram for the main public transportations. And you will need to use the Myki card. So all students, international students actually get a special I-Use pass, which they can buy if they don't want the normal Myki card. And they will have to be able to purchase it for half the price and then use it for all the trains, tram, and buses as well. So going into what is vocational education. So because Melbourne Polytechnic, we are a government TAFE. So we focus on vocational education and training, or what you can know as well is technical vocational education and training. So the VET system basically is set up to supply a skilled and capable workforce. So let's say right now, Australia is in demand for early childhood teachers. So it will be considered a VET course because it's supplying the demand with graduates who are skilled in early childhood teaching. So public VET institutions, which is what Melbourne Polytechnic is, were known as TAFEs, so technical and further education. But as you know, there's so many other institutions offering cheaper fees and more flexible timetable as well. They are known as private VET institutions or private RTOs, registered training organization. So they also deliver the VET course, but they are not government owned, so they're private. So that would be something separate to us. So what are the examples of the VET skills? So I mentioned early childhood teaching, but there's also screen and media, makeup specialists, commercial cookery as well is a VET skill, music production, accounting, design and media design, jewelry making, IT. Yeah, actually accounting is also a VET skill, winery and mixology as well, and teaching. So you might ask also, what is the difference between university and TAFE? So with us as a TAFE, our degrees is more skills-based. So whatever the student is learning is more practical, is more hands-on type of learning compared to university. University is more research-based. So they may be doing more written assignment, writing essays and research, things like that. And it's good for students who are looking at this to study like medicine or law and those type of courses, which is more research and academic based. But you have students who are more interested in cooking, more skills-based types of work, teaching, IT, hairdressing. So it's more skills-based, which are more skills-based courses. So that's something that we are doing differently than university. And also, we offer practical industry experience in the whole program. In some universities, they have some periods where they have the internship for the student, but it may be just in the first year or the second year of the program. But for us, we offer it throughout the entire program. And a huge difference is also the number of students per lecture. In TAFE, so we only have 15 to 30 students on average in one class. That means there's a lot more individual attention that the lecturer can give to students. So currently, our teachers know all of the students' names and know what is the struggles, what are the challenges, and can help them to pay more attention in the classroom or give them more support with assignments, if they may not understand fully. Compared to university, they may have over 200 students per class, which is a big difference. So that's something, in comparison. And also, our lecturers have many years of practical work experience in what they're teaching. So our accounting lecturers have over 15, 20 years of experience and are still working in the industry. And then they come and teach our students what is happening in the current environment. So that's why it's very much practical. So why Melbourne Polytechnic? So we are actually one of the largest government TAFE with over 100 years of history. So we started back in 1912 and have been teaching VET courses over 100 years. And we offer not only VET, but actually we have higher education program as well. So we have 12 bachelor degrees and 1 master's program, which I'll talk about later. And yes, all of our teachers have the work experience and the relevant industry experience to share with the students. Our class sizes as well, 15 to 25 students maximum per class, so very small class sizes We also offer flexible term payments. So if the student is struggling with the finance, don't worry, we can offer them to pay every 3 months instead of every semester. So they can always come to us and ask for this flexible term payments, and we don't charge any fees for application. So it's free of charge to submit application. And also there's a lot of pathway options. We have up to 20% scholarship, and all of our campuses are very close to the public transport. It's either next to the train station or next to the bus station. So very convenient for the student to travel to our campus. For the scholarships, so we have 2 scholarships which are for the international students. So the first one is a 10% scholarship. So the student need to achieve 65 in their year 12 studies on average, or above. If they want to receive 20% scholarship, they need to achieve 70% on average in their year 12 studies. So we don't have to look at the English score, we just look at the score in their year 12. Once they receive this scholarship, it will be applied across all study periods, which means if they apply for 3 years bachelor degree, they will get 20% in year 1, year 2, year 3. So for the 3 years, they will get the scholarship. And just to show some examples of our campus. So this is our Preston campus, it's our main campus. It's about half an hour from the city center, so very close by train. And then this is where we have most of our IT program, business programs, early childhood. And Fairfield campus is more for arts, which we also have some art courses here. Peran, also arts and theater, screen and media is in the Peran campus. Heidelberg campus is where we run our bricklaying, certificate 3 in bricklaying. And the Epping campus is for our engineering programs. So yes, we have many different campuses, and I'll go through as well some of our higher education programs. As you can see, we have the Bachelor of Hospitality Management, which is 3 years. They need year 12, IELTS 6.0 with no band less than 5.5. And one thing I really want to highlight is also our fees, because right now I understand as well with a lot of universities in Melbourne, they're charging at least $30,000, $40,000 per year for a bachelor degree. So this is something which we feel that we can provide for students who are looking for value for money. They want good quality education, but not also be spending so much every single year for their education as well. So this 18,320 per year for our bachelor degree. And we have 3 intakes, February, July, and November, and this will be in the Preston campus. You can see all the career outcome as well. So for students who are interested to know what can they do after they graduate, can they stay back in Australia and apply for these jobs? So you can see all the career outcomes. And we have the pathway, because since we specialize in the vet courses as well, so that's why the student can start with the certificate 3 in commercial cookery for 1 year, continue with Cert 4 in kitchen management 6 months, and then diploma in hospitality management another 6 months. So if they do that package, is already 2 years. And then if they want, they can continue to the bachelor's for another 2 more years. So it's a very flexible package pathway as well, depending if they want to stop at diploma or the bachelor degree. If they want to come in at the certificate 3 level, they just only need year 11 and IELTS 5.5 with overall no band less than 5. So lower English entry. And then if they do this entire package, is only 69,368 for the total tuition fee for 4 years in this pathway. So I think this would be something quite popular in Vietnam as well, with the students interested in commercial cookery. And I'll share some photos. As you can see, our facilities are very well equipped with all the latest equipment. We have the ovens, we have the cooking stations for the students to do their practical learning, and also the front of house student who will be serving the foods as well. And also our students always win competitions, cooking competitions as well when they participate. So the difference between us with the private RTOs, because we also understand there's a lot of providers who are running cookery courses, but the difference is because we maintain very low numbers per class, as I mentioned, 15 to 25 students per class. So the quality of the learning which they get will be also much better compared to other providers which may be offering lower fees. So you have to question also how are their fees much lower. And then also we have the Bachelor of Business with 3 years, for 3 years. And the pathway starting from Certificate 4 in Marketing and Communication, 6 months with a Diploma of Marketing and Communication, another 6 months. They can pathway to a Bachelor of Business and have 1 year exemption. So total 3 years with entry requirements year 11 and IELTS 5.5 with no band less than 5. We also have Bachelor of Accounting, which is accredited by CPA Australia and CAANZ, and the Masters of Accounting. Our Masters is 2 years. They need to have a bachelor degree or equivalent, so they can finish their bachelor's overseas as well in any field. So it can be any bachelor's degree. IELTS, they need to have 6.5 with no band less than 6. And this is also accredited by CPA and CAANZ. Bachelor of IT is also one of our popular programs. We're accredited by ACS. So that's something that not a lot of the other providers have. So in the TAFE area, we are only 1 out of 2 TAFEs that have ACS accreditation for Bachelors of IT. And the pathway includes Certificate 4 in Cybersecurity. So they do this for 1 year, and then they do the Diploma of IT for 1 more year, and they get 1 year exemption in the Bachelor of IT. So total 4 years, starting from Cert 4, and they only need year 11 and IELTS 5.5 to enter to this pathway. Total fee 77,840 for 4 years. And if you have students interested in engineering technology, in civil, this is also another very popular program. It's 4 years. They need year 12, including the maths subjects and IELTS 6.0. It also includes 300 hours of the work integrated learning. And with this pathway, so we include the Diploma of Engineering Technology for 1 year with the Advanced Diploma of Engineering Technology. And they can pathway and have 1.5 years of the credit exemption to the Bachelor of Engineering Technology. So total 4.5 years. They need year 12 and IELTS 5.0 to enter to this pathway, starting with the diploma. And you can see the facilities, as I mentioned, because we are TAFE, we focus more on the vocational skills and the skills trainings. So that's why the students are very active. They have more hands-on learning compared to just always in the classroom. So this is also good if you have students who may not do so well with just purely academic type of studies, but they enjoy and can do well with the hands-on learning. There's also applied architecture. So this is 3 years, starting from year, the entry requirements is year 12, IELTS 6.5. For this one, you need to have an interview and a folio. But we also have the pathway starting from advanced diploma of building design. So this will be a 2 years program, and then they will get 1.5 years credit into the Bachelor of Applied Architecture. We also have agriculture and technology. So agriculture is something quite niche. Not a lot of providers have this course. So we are only one of the few providers that teach agriculture, and it's in the Epping campus. So the students need year 12 and IELTS 6.0. If they want to start in the Certificate 4 in agriculture, they can continue with the diploma and then have 1-year exemption in the Bachelor's of Agriculture. So total 4 years, and they need year 11 and IELTS 5.5. So these are facilities. They can actually major in winemaking as well. So depending on their interests. And the Bachelor of Early Childhood Education. So this is one of our new programs that we are currently running, and it's very popular due to the demand for early childhood educators here. So 3 years, they need year 12. IELTS a little bit higher, they need 6.5 overall with no band less than 6. And it's recognized by ASEQA. And also it includes 85 days of the placement in childcare and kindergarten settings. And you can see an example of how the schedule looks like. In the first year, they will start their placement already in semester 2, and then continue every semester until they finish the 3 years. We also have Bachelor of Education in Early Years and Primary. So this is 4 years. This one, the IELTS also a little bit more higher. It's 7.0 overall with no band less than 7. So a little bit harder to get into, but this is also accredited by ASEQA and includes 120 days of placement in childcare. So that's why if you have the student interested in teaching, I recommend to apply for the Bachelor of Early Childhood, because only 3 years and the IELTS is lower for the requirements. We are also will be bringing back the Certificate 3 for the early childhood program as well. So I'll keep you updated when that is ready, but that will allow your student to pathway starting from Certificate 3. So if you have interest, students interested in arts, we have Bachelor of Illustration. So this is 3 years, IELTS 6.0, no band less than 5.5. And this will be in the Fairfield campus. So we also have the pathway starting from Certificate 4 in Visual Arts, package 2 years with a Diploma of Visual Arts, and then have 1 year exemption in Bachelor of Illustration. So this is example, something to take note of with this program. If the student is more interested in fine arts, so not really covering digital design or using software, we are more focused with hand painting and just using traditional methods to come up with the arts that you see here. And for music, so also this is something that not a lot of providers have. So we have Bachelor of Music, 3 years in the Fairfield campus. And they can start with Diploma of Music in Performance, and then continue Advanced Diploma of Music Industry also in Performance for 2 years, and then have 1 year exemption in a Bachelor of Music. Same with the Songwriting and Music Production, also 3 years. And those are the main highlight about our higher education programs and the pathway through the VET courses. Another thing to add, we provide optional internship for all students who are studying these programs. So Masters of Accounting, Bachelor of Engineering, Accounting, Business, Hospitality, and IT. In the final year, they get to choose if they want to do a 12-week internship program. It is unpaid, but it's also free of charge for our students. So this is something very important to compare also with universities, because usually the university will have the placement for students, but the students has to pay for them through the tuition fees. But for us, we don't charge students any fee when they want to do internship. So that's something to highlight. And because we have a lot of the VET courses, and you can see not only in diplomas, but certificates. So don't worry, I'll share this with you so you can refer. But yeah, we have diplomas in all the courses from interior design, music, graphic design, horticulture, IT, building construction, and also certificates in hairdressing, which is a very popular program here as well. It's also very high in demand. Hairdressing students, after they graduate, they can easily find a job here. But we also have agriculture, cybersecurity, interior decoration, screen and media. So we have quite a number of the VET courses as well. Academic calendar, we usually start our main intakes, which are in February and July, and these are the dates. But we also have the November intake. So for admissions requirements, very straightforward. When you send us the application, just include the application form, certified copy of passport, and the academic transcripts and the certificates. IELTS score, or we also accept PTE, TOEFL, Cambridge, or we have our own free placement test if your student is applying for the VET course. So any certificate, diploma courses, your student can do the placement test for free to test their English level. And then this includes if they want a package with the higher education course as well. And any additional documents. So because right now, for Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, Indonesia, we're considering the streamlined visa processing, which means you don't need to do the GTE checklist or statement of purpose. So those are only for the level 3 countries. So currently it's quite straightforward, and continue sending them to, yes, our admissions team. Living expenses. So this would be very useful for you to share with the student, to have a look at how much they need to budget for their living costs in Melbourne. So rental would usually be the highest. It depends if they stay in a single room or sharing a room with a housemate, or they have an apartment, or they rent a house. It could be anywhere from 165 to 440. Groceries as well, if they plan to cook at home or outside, and utilities, phone, internet, public transport, entertainment. So I attached the link down here, so you can click this to, the cost of living calculator. You can click this one, and then it will ask you what are your spending habits. How often do you eat outside compared to how often you cook at home? And they will calculate for you a more accurate average for your spending. But yes, on average, maybe budget about $405 per week. And the lowest pay rate in Melbourne, if they intend to work part-time while they're on the student visa, they can work 48 hours a fortnight for international students. So this is taken into effect this month. So they can only work 48 hours, and then no restriction on the working hours during semester break. So you can, using the lowest pay rate, kind of estimate as well how much they could potentially earn when they work part-time. So student support. So this is something that as a TAFE, we actually do quite well, almost to the same level as what universities do. So we have a lot of support for our students. They can join the MPISA, the Student Association, and organize events, be part of the welcome day, do volunteer activities. And we also have a SLAM group. So we have a designated team to arrange a lot of outings and fun activities for the students as well, all for free. So sometimes they bring them to Phillip Island, to the Great Ocean Road, take them for road trips and organize workshops and things like that for them as well. So it's going to be a very exciting experience for your students. Yeah, so these are some examples of our SLAM team's events. And then feel free to share this one with your student, which is our SLAM Facebook page, just in case if they want to see what is it like to come and study at Melbourne Poly, what sort of activities will I get to enjoy, and like photos and things like that. It's all on there. So yeah, feel free to send this to them, so they can at least see what it's like. So students nowadays as well, they get worried about what sort of job they will get after school, and also while they're studying, can they find part-time job to help to cover their living expenses? So we have the Skills and Job Center, which their main purpose is to provide career advice and counseling and help the student to prepare their resume and cover letter and look for jobs when they're here. So this is something which I understand is also very new to the student, because coming from different countries, the job application will be very different. They may not know what to include in the resume. So we have the Skills and Job Center to purposely help them in this area to look for jobs. And also, yeah, feel free to share and visit our Instagram, Facebook, YouTube websites as well to find out more. And I think, yeah, that's about it. And I see there's a question here. Can you share a bit about the English placement test? Can it be packaged with bachelor course only with that? How long for the maximum length of early course you can offer? And is it online or paper test? Thanks for the question. So with the English placement test, you can apply if you're applying for the VET or you're applying VET plus higher education package. Both these cases, you can take the English placement test. And it will be an online test. So we can issue you the login details for your student to take the test at home, or if you prefer, invite the student to your office to do the test there, because they need the proper internet, proper computer with the headphones to do the test. And also maximum length of, so early course, some update to share with you. We are actually going to run our own EAP program, English for Academic Purposes, hopefully starting by September, because right now they are doing the registration for the crash course. So I'll let you know when it is ready. But once we have the EAP, the student can directly package English at Melbourne Poly and study the English here and directly continue to the bachelor program. So our English program will start with the entry at 5.5. That's EAP 1. And then they finish and come out with a level 5. Sorry, did I say 5.0? They start at 5.0, finish at 5.5, and then EAP 2 will be 5.5, finish at 6.0. So those are the 2 classes which we will have soon for your students. But at this moment, we also have package with Greenwich, Impact English, Discover English, ILSC, and International House. So we can package the English with those provider first with our course. Maximum length, currently, we usually have the student about 20 weeks of English come to us. 30 weeks of English, I think we can still accept it, but just send through the application and then our admissions will be able to advise. Do you only accept students finishing 11th grade or also students finishing 10th grade? Oh, it's finished. Currently, all of our programs is either 11 or year 11 or year 12 entry. So yeah, unfortunately, we'll have the student will have to meet that entry requirement for that course. So if it's year 11 entry, then they have to be year 11. Yeah.
Sorry, Natalie, I want to add more information related to this question. Actually, Vietnamese student, when they apply for any courses with the entry requirement of like finishing year 11 or year 10, however, the limitation is their age. That's good, the age. So you,
okay.
Yeah. So do you accept student under 18 years old?
Oh yeah, so for the age, the student has to be over 18. Yeah.
Okay,
so
I got it.
Yeah.
So regarding to this question, so academic entry requirement they may meet, however the age normally no. So the best is to finish year 12 in Vietnam when student reach 18 years old.
That's true. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for clarifying that. Okay. And then do you have nursing course? So unfortunately, we don't have nursing course. So with Melbourne Polytechnic, we are more focused to, so how the TAFE system works in Victoria, if one TAFE already has a nursing program, or let's say 2 or 3 TAFE already have nursing program, the other TAFEs will not get funding to have the same program. So that's why, because we're all government TAFE, usually it's rare to see that all of us have the same program. especially with these sort of programs, which is more higher cost to run, like nursing. Yeah, so that's why we have like agriculture, yeah, those applied architecture. That's right. So yeah, we don't have nursing. Which campus in regional areas? So we don't really have a regional campus because it's still within the Melbourne, the greater Melbourne area. But we have one which is further out, which our furthest campus, which is Yan Yan. And the only course that they run there is the certificate for in agriculture. So we only run one course there, but it's also not really considered a regional area as well, but it's the furthest that we have. If my student finishes year 12, can they register Cert 3 in commercial cookery? Yeah, they can apply that one because the entry requirement, I believe, is year 11. So if they're year 12, they could already meet it. I'll just go back to the commercial cookery course. Oh, sorry, year 11. Yeah, year 11 to enter certificate 3. Yeah, so if they're year 12, they enter. Graduate employment rate of Melbourne Poly. So overall, it's very high because, as you know, we are TAFE, which means the courses that we run is in order to supply high demand areas. So right now, early childhood is currently needing a lot of teachers. There's not enough teachers to supply all the childcare centers. So all of our students, for example, in our early childhood bachelor program, 100% have found jobs within 1 month of graduating. So you can see how quickly our students get the employment. Not only early childhood, but IT as well. Our main, we have three majors. So cyber security or network security, data analytics, and software development. So most of the students go with the network security because, as you know, cybersecurity is a very in high demand in Australia as well. So yeah, a lot of our students have no problem to find jobs after they graduate. Yes, I'll send you the PowerPoint. I'll share it with Heng, and then she can share with everyone, and records. Oh yeah, and the recording. Do students learning hospitality get arranged to the internship by school? Do they get paid? So hospitality is under the optional internship program. So it's one of the courses which is covered by the optional internship. Okay, I'll go to that. Actually, I'll go from here. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay, I'll just go down. Yeah, so all of these courses will have the internship program, which we will arrange for the student. So the student just has to register their interest. So they just fill up the form to say that, oh, I'm already in my final year. I want to participate in the internship. Please help me to find internship. And then we receive the form, and then we arrange the video briefing for the student to let them know, okay, what's the process? Now you need to prepare your resume, your cover letter, and it's good for the student because they learn what is the process like to find an actual job after they graduate. So we go through that whole process with them. And then we give them a few options, which is the company you want to apply for. And then the student can just pick 2 or 3, and then we arrange interview. So we'll kind of be supporting them with the whole process, arrange interview for them, and then they have to perform in the interview. Once they receive it, and we will tick off that they are in the internship program, and I believe they'll just have to write a report after they finish the program. So yeah, so that's something that we'll arrange for them. Do they get paid? Usually they will not get paid because this one is more of an internship rather than actual job. So usually for the 12 weeks, about 3 months, they won't get paid. But what happens, because they do this internship, after that, the same company hire them for the full-time job, which means after that, they continue working in the same company and they get paid as a normal employee. So usually the way to see this internship is more of an opportunity to get into that company. And then from there, if you do well, then the company will hire you to be a full-time staff and pay you as a normal employee. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully that answers.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Natalie, very much for sharing a lot of information. And I believe that after this webinar, all of you will have more choices when advising students to study in Australia. And do you have anything needing us to make clear? So you can also text in the chat box, and we will answer lively here. Otherwise, after this webinar, you can contact us for more information. Let me check if any questions. Yeah, another question here. Can we get the slide of this information? For sure, we will send the slide and the record to all of you via email after this webinar. And Natalie, can you share us about the turnaround time when applying to Melbourne Polytechnic?
Yes, for sure. So turnaround time usually will have by maximum is 10 business days. If the student is already onshore, it'll be a lot quicker. So usually 2-3 days, we'll have the offer letter ready. And also depends if the student is asking for credit exemption or advanced standing, that will also take some more time. But usually will take within 1 week, but maximum is 10 business days.
That's very fast. And you know, nowadays students, when they want to study in Australia, they also care much about the early childhood education courses. So with these courses, can they pack it with English course?
I would say because of the higher English requirement, the student, I think there's only selected provider which go up to that level. So for example, early childhood education, they need 6.5. So yeah, if I think Impact or Discover, they would have the advanced English to reach up to 6.5. In that case, then yes, we can package with them. But if this provider doesn't have up to that level, then yeah, we can't accept that.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you all today for spending your time with us. And please keep in touch. And I hope to see you soon next time. And thank you very much, Natalie, too, for your time today, tuning to our agents. And after this webinar, we will send to our agents and everything about Melbourne Polytechnic. And if you have any questions more, just let us know.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. And thank you, Hung, as well.
Thank you. Bye.